Hey everybody. Okay, so what we just realized was we goofed up a little bit in entering the data, and this happens all the time. We forgot to put in some data here for 0 years. Okay, no big deal. All we got to do is get in there and fix it. So we're gonna show you some neat little right click tricks that I use all the time in Excel, and I think they'll come in handy for you too. So we're not going to lose anything. We're just going to add. The first thing you want to do is come over here, and you want to left click and then select these three cells right here, the 1, the 15, and the 15. What we want to do is shove that down and make room above that for 0, 0, 0. And we'll get to that in a second. So I'm going to right click on those cells, and then one of the options you get is the insert option here. Left click on that, and then it asks you, how should I shift these cells? I want to move them. Do I shift them right down in the entire row? I just shift cells down. Okay, and then it shoves everything down one. And then what it gives you is 3 blank little cells right there. Now I'm going to go in there and type 0, right. 0, right arrow, 0, right arrow, 0. And if it drives you crazy, you can make them not underlined. So now what you've got is you've got the correct starting, because if a cat is 0 years old, 0 human years old, then they're not alive yet, so they should be 0 cat and dog years. Okay, so that's quite good. The trick now, we've got that taken care of. Those numbers are not represented on this chart over here. Notice how this still starts at 1. It needs to start at 0. So here's how I deal with this. This is my own dealing, and we'll see if you like it. There's other ways, but I think this is the easiest way. I just, on the chart somewhere, on the chart, not on the legend, not on the graphs, not on the title, but on the chart itself, right click, okay? And then go to select data. Now, as a historical note, the reason I do it this way is because this is the only way you could do it back in previous versions of Excel. So I've gotten kind of used to doing it this way, and thankfully they've kept this, and I can't imagine them ever not having this option on there. We need to edit both the horizontal axis labels and also everything else over here. We'll do them one at a time. The first thing we're going to do is edit this horizontal thing. And the way I do this, I don't know what these checkbox things are in here. I've never really fully understood that. I always just go to edit, and then it says axis label range. Now, one way to do it is to type it in, but I've learned over the years it's easier to select it. So here's what I do. See how it's blank? I'm going to wander my mouse over here, and I'm going to left click on that 0 and drag it all the way down until I'm on 30, and then let go. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, you may have noticed in the background, I don't know if you did or not, you may have, that 0 showed up right down here. It goes from 0, oops, it says 0 to 29 right now, which means I have to go back and edit it and grab the correct range. That's weird. Oh no, excuse me, time out. It's not weird at all. Don't worry about that. That's going to be fine. We need to fix 2 more things, and then the 30 will show up. The reason it's goofed, sorry about that little brain fart, is that we haven't adjusted these. These are still, these only have 30 dots represented. So in other words, if you think about it mathematically, 0 to 29, if you count 0, are 30 dots. So what we have to do is we have to edit the cat and dog years. So let's left click on the cat years, hit edit. Okay, don't worry about series name. Series name is exactly the same. It's cat years. But you see how it says series values, and then it's got this kind of cryptic looking sheet 1 D5 to D34. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to change this, and you get to pick your favorite. One way to do it is to select all of that, press delete, and then actually select the stuff you want. Now, that's one way to do it, is to do that. So erase what was there, and then select what you actually want, and then hit OK. Another way to do it, I'll show you this way. This is the dog years. If you hit edit, you can actually go into the range and change the numbers. For example, it's now looking at E5 through E34. So E5 is this 15. E34 is this 112. You actually want it to start at E4. So you can actually click right there in front of the 5, press delete, and then press 4. And then hit OK, and it'll adjust it automatically that way. So I'll leave it up to you. Both ways work just fine. You get to pick your favorite. And then hit OK. And your graph has been updated. It now goes from 0 to 30. And you have your extra data point down here at 0, so you can actually see the progression from 0 to 1 here. And all is fixed. Cool. Hope that helped. We'll see you again in a minute to mess with that some more.